Hello, everyone. My name is Leslie Barrera from AudioCodes, and I have a very special guest today with us, Brent Kelly from Omdia. Hi, Brent. How are you?
Leslie, I'm doing great. How are you?
Very good, thank you. Brent, can you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about Omdia and what you guys do?
Absolutely. So, again, my name is Brent Kelly. I am a principal analyst at Omdia. For those of you who do not know Omdia, Omdia is a company that has a global footprint of analysts. We have over 600 analysts that cover many different kinds of technologies and so forth. Our parent company is a company called Informa, and with all of our divisions, we have a little bit over 11,000 employees worldwide. As far as what I do specifically, Leslie, my area of focus is the enterprise communications space, and I have been an analyst in this industry for over 20 years. Specifically here at Omdia, I cover four different elements. I cover on-premises PBXs, I cover session border controllers, I cover the SIP trunking market, and then I cover what I call telephony-enabled unified communications as a service. And this is where you would have solutions from, say, Microsoft Teams, and you add telephony to that so that you can call out to the public switched telephone network. So in a nutshell, I cover those four things for Omdia.
Great, thank you, Brent. Why is the research that Omdia carries out so important in this tech industry? What can you tell us about that?
Well, analysts have a unique role in the industry. So one of the primary things that we do is that we gather data and provide that to vendors and end users. And so we talk with everybody in the industry. We talk with all the vendors. We talk with service providers. We talk with people in the value chain, and specifically to the area that I'm in this communications, enterprise communications value chain. And then we look at what's happening in all of those elements from the vendors to the service providers to the end user customers. And then we put that together in our research so that we can provide a holistic view of what is happening in any of the particular technology markets that we happen to cover. And so in our conversation today, we get trend information and we correlate the market for session border controllers and those adjacent markets that influence session border controller sales and shipments in the entire market globally.
Oh, great. Thank you so much. So, in this wide experience that you have, what are the market trends that you see in 2022 and 2023 from SBCs and SBCs as a service?
Well, I'm glad you asked that question, Leslie, because I'll be frank, one of the biggest trends that we saw, and I'm going to go back to COVID for just a minute. COVID proved that these unified communications as a service solutions are able to perform well, and they have tremendous uptime, and they can support organizations both nationally, regionally, and globally, and they can do it really well. Following that, companies began to say, well, if they're able to support me for my meetings technology, many of them offer telephony capabilities as well, particularly Microsoft Teams.
Yes.
WebEx also does that in Zoom, and I believe AudioCodes provides session border controllers for all of the major unified communications as a service vendors, and even for the on-premises PBX vendors. But one of the trends that we're seeing is that companies are adopting, particularly in Microsoft Teams voice, to add that to their Microsoft Teams client so that then people can use their client, say their Microsoft Teams client, or they can use their mobile phone, the client on a mobile phone, or they can use a telephone handset, all Teams enabled, that can call out to the PSTN. A few other things that we're seeing are cloud-based session border controller solutions. So historically, people have deployed session border controllers on their own premises. But with the advent of cloud-based solutions like AudioCodes Live, for example, that allows a company to have audio codes deploy, manage, and maintain the session border controller, then they no longer need to do that themselves, and they no longer need to have that expertise. They have a fixed price where they know how much that's going to cost and so forth, and they can expense that as an operating expense as opposed to a CapEx expense. So that's another trend that we are seeing, and from what I can see, AudioCodes is having significant growth in that particular line of business. Just a couple other things that we're seeing with the advent of artificial intelligence and machine learning. We're seeing that that is now beginning to be added to these session border controllers. And of course, the main purpose for the session border controllers is to help provide secure voice communications, to prevent fraud, and other kinds of things that are important as we think about our enterprise communications solutions.
Thank you, Brent. I'm really glad that you mentioned our AudioCodes Live service solution, because this is something that we have been working really hard on. And I think it's something that has led us to being named as market leader for enterprise SBCs. So this is something that I want to ask you also, because we were named market leader for enterprise SBCs in your report last year on 2023 on Q3, and we were growing our share 23.2% after leading the revenue share earlier as well in 2023 and in 2022. So in your opinion, what drove this growth in AudioCodes market share as it reflected in your report?
Well, quite frankly, AudioCodes is the #1 session border controller vendor for people who use Microsoft Teams. And when I say Microsoft Teams, this is when they voice enable their Microsoft Teams so that they can call to the PSTN, as we discussed earlier. So AudioCodes is the #1 provider globally for voice enabling Microsoft Teams. And that has been one of the biggest drivers for AudioCodes top ranking as far as sessions and revenue for session border controllers, is that many enterprises are liking what they see from AudioCodes. They, of course, like the price point, they like the functionality, they like the support that they get from AudioCodes. And this is one of the biggest factors that has propelled AudioCodes to being the #1 provider of session border controllers worldwide, and particularly in that third quarter of last year that you have referenced. There's some other factors that are there too. AudioCodes is a global provider. They have access. Well, customers can purchase them in most countries in the world. They have service and support, and the products are very well respected in the industry. And just one clarifying point, Leslie, we're talking about enterprise session border controllers, and so these are session border controllers that companies buy. They can deploy them themselves, or if they want, they can have AudioCodes deploy those in their AudioCodes Live cloud. But these are the reasons why I think AudioCodes has propelled to the top, and it'll be interesting to see how that progresses as we move. We're about to release the fourth quarter numbers, and then we'll move into 2024. And so, of course, I will wish AudioCodes and its customers the highest level of successes as they go forward with this. And it's just really great to be with you today, Leslie.
Thank you, Brent. This is great material and great insights that you have given us today. So thank you for taking the time, and we are looking forward for the new reports that are coming to see how these trends are evolving and how is the market evolving as well. So if anyone wants to see the report from Omdia, we will give you a link in the description of this video, and you can reach out also to omdia.com for more information. So thank you very much, Brent, for being here with us today.
Thank you, Leslie.